Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're continuing the World's Prep Deck Profile series. This time we're talking about Krista Lenz. Should be no surprise that she's on the list of heavy hitters going into Worlds. She's seen some reasonable success getting second at Worlds last year, winning Nationals last year. Few players, Ezra Travis, topping with this character. There's no surprise to anybody she's on my list. Krista Lenz from AOT1, she's a 632, Chaos and Order. Survey Core, she's a static after you discard one or more cards. Put 2 wall counters on this character card. Enhance, remove wall counters, attack gain stun 1. And then enhance, remove 4 wall counters, choose 1 card in each player's discard pile and place it on top of their deck. So you can really control the pace of the game once you're able to continually remove wall counters by finding discard outlets, which we have plenty in the deck. Being able to, stack an attack for your stealth and kind of stack whatever you want for your rival. Either it's going into their turn, you want them to draw foundations, or if you just, if they have no draw effects on board or no way to get a card off the top of their deck, you could stack an attack so they can just fail their next block no matter what. It just really allows you to just, take over the pace of the game and control how it goes. Also, having stun 1 on a character for basically a free resource is crazy. She's able to just really pressure your rival's stage by committing cards, use that stun 1, also using other effects to use stun, and being able to just really control, like I've used this like multiple times, but control the field, right? Like she doesn't read like a control character, because usually you seem like a control character would be like, well, I'm going to stat manipulate, but she really controls how the pace of the game goes by, saying, hey, I'm going to stun you out, you're going to check bad, and I'm going to draw all the attacks I want. So she's just a very, very good character, solid character out of AOT1 that's really just been strong ever since she's been printed. Going into the first attack, we got Wall Maria's Might, 5 difficulty, 3 check, 2 low block, 5 low for 5, charged ranged. Blitz, add 1 wall counter to a card in your stage, then draw 1 card for every 2 wall counters on that card. Response, after you block this attack, block an attack with this card, draw a card. So really this card's really the grease in the wheels, if you want to say, because there's other ways to discard cards in the deck. So this allows us to draw more cards based on the wall counters. So it really keeps our hand full going into those offensive turns. We're gonna be able to build these big wide stages with the cards that we draw. And then also on defense, if we want to block a low attack with this, we just block it, right? And it replaces itself. 5 low 5 is pretty good for 5 diff. It's just pretty average, but really add that wall counter ability to draw a card for every 2. There are times where I've played this card and I've drawn 5 to 6 cards off of it, and it's crazy and it's hilarious and awesome. And we need to be able to kill our rival. So walk the dog, 8 difficulty, 3 check, 6 low 6, 2 low block. This attack gets -1 difficulty for each committed foundation on our rival stage, max -4. We're a stun deck. We have stun printed on face. We have a lot of abilities on our cards and attacks that gain stun 1 or have stun. So this really is no surprise to anybody that this card here is just the finisher. It also has some extra text on it. Draw 1 card for each copy of Walk the Dog, so it's keeping our hand full. We're going to be able to stack, once we get enough counters with Krista, we can stack Walk the Dogs and then draw them with Walk the Dogs and then draw more cards with Walk the Dogs. It also has Powerful 3, Stun, like I said, we're a stun deck. We like to run stun packages. Also, the Powerful 3 really comes in handy towards the end of the game, where we're just going to yeet our rival into existence. 2 copies of Leaping Slice, 5 difficulty, 3 check, 2 low block, 4 high for 5, stun 1, enhance, discard a card. This attack gains 2 speed, and if it deals damage, we draw a card. So this card kind of is just like a little bit of a decent bridge lead-in move. I guess a flow card, if you want to call it that. We discard a card, gain a counter with gain counters with Krista. We gain 2 speed, so it's a 6 high for 5. Then we give it stun 1 again, so it's technically stun 2, and so on and so forth. We just gotta find damage, right? So we just need to find damage with this type of card. Being able to draw a card on hit's pretty good. More often than not, a 6+ speed move with stun 2 is usually gonna hit our rival because it's just gonna be too fast and the resources are gonna be tapped. So yeah, it's a pretty neat piece in this deck. Next up, we got one of my favorite attacks in the deck, Double Trouble, 4 difficulty, 3 check, 2 mid for 5, 3 mid block, ally echo, stun 1, enhance, discard a card, draw a card. The twice enhance does not matter. Being able to have stun on a move to double up on the stun with Krista gives, it's really, really good. Being able to have an echo move that's basically discard 2, gain 4 counters, right? We gain 2 counters? Yeah. Gain 4 counters, draw 2 cards on one move. So it makes our bottom enhance on Krista alive on one move is fantastic. Yeah, being able to just get 2-for-1s out of echo moves with Krista is fantastic. Yeah, it just furthers our game plan. Stun 4, gain 4 counters, draw 2 cards is just a really good return rate in this deck. Now we got a really cool piece in Frog Strike, 4 difficulty, 3 check, 4 mid for 4, 2 mid block, kick, stun 1. We love stun on moves. If we can give him more stun, discard a card, gain 2 counters, get 3 damage. We also get some nice seal for a foundational flip. We just flip a foundation to seal a rival foundation, and if our rival is silly enough to go into deadlock, we get to ready 3 foundations. This gives us a really, really nice piece to touch our, granted, we're probably stunning our rivals board out completely, but maybe they have some, tenacious abilities, so we just want to seal them and get rid of it. So this allows us to do that. And just point and click, which is really always nice to have in a deck that we need, because otherwise sometimes we just can't deal with stuff. Like maybe we don't have enough counters to give all of our moves stuns, so we can flip, seal something, and then we can go to town with the stuns. Of course, we are a Chaos deck, so we're playing Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken, 5 difficulty, 3 check, 2 high block, 4 high for 6. Fury ranged. If this attack is added to your momentum, we add it face up. Momentum, it's momentum once per turn, your attack gets 2 speed. We get to commit and freeze a rival asset, and then give our attack stun 1, and then we stun 1, and then commit 1 rival asset. This card's a very, very good opener. It's just a big meaty move at 6 damage. Yeah, your rival has to answer this, because if we get to point and click their best defensive piece, it's just lights out from there. We got 1 copy of Military Airship, 3 difficulty, 5 check, 2 high block, unique, enhance, commit, freeze this card. Then add 1 card from our card pool to our hand. So maybe we want to buy back a Frog Strike, or maybe a Double Trouble, or maybe we want to wall Mario's Might again. We can always just do that after the blitzes, draw more cards, get more counters. Yeah, it's just a very, very good piece. Most decks running it on 1 or 2. There's no reason not to. We got 4 copies of Runaway, 5 difficulty, 4 check, 5 mid block. Response, lose X health. Before the damage step of your rival's unblocked attack, it deals no damage, and add the top card of your rival's discard pile to their card pool. X equals this attack's printed damage. Yeah, so this allows us to just tank moves, just have printed. So if our opponent has an ability, like an attack that's way too big, and we just can't block it, we can run away it down, take printed damage, and stuff their card pool. I also just realized I didn't put Moment of Normalcy in this deck, which is kind of funny. We got 2 copies of Finally Free, 3 difficulty, 6 check, 1 mid block, enhance, flip, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. We like getting momentum. We want some momentum for some powerful effects. We also play Childlike Appearance on our board. We want to be able to just use these effects and have some momentum when we need it. We got 4 copies of Inspiring Song, 1 difficulty, 6 check, 3 mid block, spell, flip, mill 3, choose a player. That player's next check gets +1 or -1. Cool thing is, with Krista's ability, we can use this find something we want to draw or we want to stack to use to maybe block or pass a check with, and then we get +1. So say we have a 6 check in our discard pile, we stack the 6 check, we check 7, and we go on from there. Now we got 4 copies that don't do this. 1 difficulty, 5 check, 2 low block. Discard 1 card. This attack gets stun 1. So with us drawing a bunch of cards with Walmaria's Might due to our counters, we want to find ways to discard cards so we're not just sitting on a bunch of cards turn after turn after turn. So we want to be able to get, we can get 1 counter, and then we can be able to get stun 1 again, and we can just go from there and stun our rivals' board out, really pressure their defenses. Also, being able to accrue counters at a very, very fast rate allows us to just basically stack whatever we want to draw. Speaking of drawing, we got Horrifying Realization at 4 copies, 1 difficulty, 5 check, 2 mid block, 4 and flip. Each player discards 1 card and draws a card. If your rival discarded a foundation this way, they commit a foundation. So just form draw. After stacking, say like we stack and we don't have an enhanced way to draw, this allows us to just form, flip, and draw the card we stacked. And so we can just draw that one last attack or the defensive piece we need to play. Going into our rival's next turn, it's just very, very good, and it gets rid of the, say our rival kept like 1 block in hand, and it allows us to make them cycle that block just in case if it's a really good piece. Fearsome Transformations, 1 difficulty, 5 check, 3 high block, flip, draw 1 card. If you have no momentum, discard a card. Actually, if we have no momentum, we just gain 2 counters, man. Like, it's fine. This says it says cycle a card and then get 2 counters. This card is fantastic in all facets of the game when we're ready, whenever we need it, because counter generation is, pretty much our #1 priority. 4 copies of Fast Friendship, 1 difficulty, 5 check, 3 high block. Enhanced flip, this card gets -2 speed. If you have more face down foundations than your rival, the attack gets -3 speed instead. We need to be able to defend, right? We can't just rely on making our rival check bad all the time or hoping they check bad. We need to be able to at least block once or twice a turn. This allows us to do that. Also, just being able to, stack that 5 check and then block after getting -2, -3 speed. Like sometimes that's all we need is just the 1, right? The 1 block a turn, as kind of like the format kind of dictates, where we just like, well, you got to have it. We're going to make them have it. That's the arc, right? We just got to make them have it. And we are a stun deck, so Dangerous Combatant comes in at 3 copies, 1 difficulty, 5 check, 3 low block. Enhanced flip, if your rival has more foundations committed than ready, we draw a card. So obviously we're a stun deck. They're going to have more committed foundations than ready, so we can stack with Krista and draw like that last walk the dog we need. Now this piece is really cool, and I'm going to be sad when it leaves. Number 23 Pro Hero, 2/6, 3 high block. Response before your review step, if you have 3 or less, if you have less cards in your hand, than your hand size, draw a card. So we get to get an additional review and then discard to review. So we always will have a card in hand to review. Enhance, if you have 3 or more counters on your character, we get 1 speed. So having more, we get 1 speed plus stun 1, kind of equals 2 speed in the long run. It's just very, very good value, plus a 6 check to stack. Now, the only 0 in the deck, a Master's Pride at 4 copies, 0/5, 3 mid block. Response flip, after you add a card to your momentum, ready this card. Playable while committed. Then Deadlock Response, after your attack deals damage, your next check gets +1. We really don't have a lot of in-turn momentum generation. We have Finally Free. So that's the only in-turn. But like if we can use this to pass a check during the turn, we get to just ready this at the end of the turn when we add the momentum. Long range support, 2/5, 3 low block. Titan, response once per turn after attack deals damage to a character, draw a card and discard a card. So cool thing is that if we have no cards in hand, we can always just use this, gain counters, possibly stack a bad check on top of our rival's deck during the next attack if we need to, and then we can just go from there. Hopefully we survive. Also, if we hit our rival and we stacked something, we get to draw and then discard, so we get a little bit of a refund on those counters. Now we got 2 copies of Let's Rock in the deck, 2/5, 3 mid-block. Response remove. After this card is discarded during the combat phase, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. Only 1 copy of this ability can be played this turn. So it gets us a little bit of a snap momentum. I guess I forgot about this on top of finally free. And we get 2 counters out of it. So we get to discard, after we discard with like maybe a don't do this or a horrifying realization, or even long range support or a frog strike, something like that. We get to just get some nice momentum generation for that echo for double trouble or for powerful for the walk the dog. Now we got 2 copies of Calling from the Shadow, 1/5, 2 high block. Response flip. After your rival plays a non-character ability that adds any number of cards to their momentum, cancel it. So this allows us to stop people from getting those Roman cancel tokens. Maybe finally free, or anything that allows us to stop our rival from sweeping something into their momentum as long as it's a non-character ability. It's pretty good. Don't want our rival to have Roman cancel tokens since we're a walk the dog deck, and we just want to blow them up with powerful. Now we got 2 copies of Pass Through Walls, 2, 6, 3 high block. Response flip. After your rival plays a breaker ability, cancel it. And then response flip. After your rival plays an ability on an asset, cancel it. We don't want them to use Airship. We don't want them to use Cape. Team Hero 15. We don't want that to be happen. We don't want that happening. Also, breaker blocks suck against us. We want our checks to be nice and clean after we stack those 6s. We kind of can fight breaker a bit because we can always stack a 6 on top during the attack, and then the breaker block isn't that big of a deal. But we do want to, we would like not to have to deal with that stuff, right? Having a clean check is very good. Now we're going into the sideboard. We got 2 copies of Childlike Appearance, 2 forward, 2 high block, Enhance Destroy, discard a momentum. Reduce this attack speed to 0 if blocked. Commit 1 rival foundation. So we're able to just have a nice speed reset, and then actually a nice target committal is really nice on block. 2 copies of Fill Without, 2/5, 2 mid block. After your rival plays an attack, seal it. We don't want our rival Vast Hybrid Chimera Crack hitting us, or maybe we don't want them to walk the dog, or Potemkin Buster, or something like that where we don't have to deal with it, right? We just got to just block with the numbers in front of us. 1 copy of Genkai's Guidance, 1/5, 3 low block. First form, remove, discard a card, gain 2 counters, and then our rival discards a card. So just a little bit of hand management. If they're down to only 1 or 2 cards left in hand, using this as a first form is actually pretty spicy. And then, because we're always going to be able to stack an attack if we need to, and discarding a card just progresses our game state even farther. And then Response Destroy, 3 foundations as cost. After your rival plays an attack, we remove it from the game. So if there's an attack we absolutely do not want to have to deal with, we can just use this to get rid of it. 4 copies of Great Buckler, 1/5, 3 mid block, Enhance. That looks like it's a response, but it's an enhance. Flip. This attack cannot leave your rival's card pool during the combat phase. Your rival may spend a momentum to cancel this effect. So this is for like the Mikasa's, the Mikasa 4s, anyone who wants to do card pool clearing shenanigans. And this it just allows them to have to play on progressive, and they can't just auto clear their card pool during the turn. Yes, it is a 1/5, 3 mid, so it's not that bad of stats, but this is really just coming in on the board for those card pool clearing decks, because normally stacking a bad check isn't going to stop them as much. It's not as effective as it would like a longer string deck. 1 more copy of Calling from Shadow. It just stops the momentum generation for non-character effects. Also, I do believe a Moment of Normalcy probably should be added in here somewhere. Probably could just be right on top. Or we can probably just add it on top most likely. Or we can cut a Runaway, go to 3 and play one of those. So, but yeah guys, this is the Krista Lenz Chaos deck that I believe will be making a splash at Worlds. I took her as my second pick in the fantasy draft for final round. I do believe in this character. This character is very good. You should be on the lookout for it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Is Krista going to make a splash at Worlds? Are you playing Krista at Worlds? Let the people sound off in the comments below. Defend your girl, because she's awesome. And I don't know why I ever came off this character. I don't know why. I don't get it. I don't know. Whatever, man. But anywho, again, thanks for all the support. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit those bells for notifications so you don't miss a video leading into Worlds. We're in the final stretch. Only a few more days left till day 1. And don't forget to sign up for it. And until the next video, take care.